the people you surround yourself is definitely who shape you. So I'm glad I picked
Lucky I
up
didn't
on
have
that.
this mindset back then. 'Cause I would have cut your ass off. I would have been like,
Yeah,
Fuck
that is
you.
true. That is very true.
Speaking of that, like I know some people and they don't have the same mindset as us, and I ask them questions like, "Oh, what are you doing about the future? What do you think about this? What do you think about that?
dude, isn't
What
that
are you
wild?
What are you doing? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Like, "Oh, bro, like why are you so deep? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know,
It's
man.
like
Like, he's
such
like, I'm
a-
like,
Like, why
I
are you
don't
even
know.
thinking about that?
Like, why are you thinking about that, bro? He stressed yourself out, and I was like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing with your life? And that's why, like, I distant myself from them. Like, I just distant myself, but at the same time, I'm always thinking, like, dude, like, how do
What?
you not get
Yeah, like,
anxious about
this
like
is life.
this is
Right.
life.
real.
We're-
you
this is
get
real
one
life.
motherfucking shot, bro,
Like-
and you already wasted a quarter of it.
Oh, like think about how long.
Their Clash of Clans base is better than their actual real life.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But I just
Right.
think like, dude, like I try to like guide them towards like the same way we think. I'm like, okay, what do you think about this? What do you think of that? Like push, like trying to push them, and open up their minds instead of having a closed mind.
Yeah, right.
But they don't see it, and I'm at that point where I'm just like, you know,
Yeah, I hear that all the time, dude. It's like they're like, yeah, you'll say something like that, and they'll be like,
how do you have the
Oh,
time? I need sleep. I need 8
Yeah.
hours, 9 hours of sleep, bro. How do you do that?
yeah, like
It's
8
like a
hours,
third of your life,
Bro,
bro.
like, we're
eight
like-
to 9
we're-
hours is healthy, or why you got to think about now, not you can't have a future if you're always in, or you can, yeah,
If
you
you're living in the future, yeah, you
yeah,
gotta
that
think
you
about now.
can't have
Live
a
in the
now.
moment.
yeah.
We're
I'm
We're
just
doing
like,
the same work. Why are you? How'd you do this? How'd you get that? How you so lucky, bro? I put in the fucking work.
Yeah,
I'm telling
I know
you what I
exactly how
did.
you feel too, because it's kind of unfortunate. It sucks going through that. Like people you were close to in high school, and like you want to just physically put your hands on them and shake them and wake them up. But like, there's a saying: you can open as many doors as you want for someone, but that's not gonna force them to go through.
See, Joaquin was the one that forced the door for me. Well, not yeah, forced it, but he opened it for me. Opened
Really?
my mind up. Yeah, it was
Okay.
you who opened
We
it
did
up.
have a pretty deep conversation.
It was you who opened it up
I
for me.
appreciate that.
Because
Glad to see
you're
that.
the one that were like we were on my ass. Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about your future? Like, what are you gonna do with your life? Like, where do you see yourself?
oh, you
and
did do that.
You were
I
you were
remember-
that
I
you were that
remember I was
person
like-
for me. And I was like,
You're like, this guy's like me.
I was like, oh shit.
I was like, oh. I was sitting there. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And then I got my shit together, and now I'm on the path.
Mm-hmm. Great.
But see,
But-
that's how you know we're.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, but that's how you know, like, that's what good friends are supposed to be. Like, you went hard on him, and he still your friend. Actually, in fact, better friends now. You know,
Mhm.
it's just like the bond gets closer and closer because we're more real with each other.
Exactly.
A lot of
Mhm.
friends are like, oh no, we're real, but at the same time, that dude's fucking your girlfriend. And you don't even know it.
Mhm.
Jeez.
It's like it's literally
Legit.
happening. It's happening right now. Like, if you're probably someone that listens to this podcast.
For real.
You know, because I know that some people back that we went to high school with listen to this podcast and they're like, "Oh man, you guys are so cool, man." And it's like, dude, we thought like this. It's just like we're
Exactly.
like the fuck, dude. You know, it's those people just like you said. It's almost laughable, but at the same time, instead of laughing, I kind of feel bad.
I want to help
I'm just
them.
like, I want to help them.
Mhm.
Like it's just like,
There's
dang, I
only-
wish I could get through to you. Like,
Yeah, there's only so much you can do. If they don't want to listen, I could tell them what to do. I could give them like, dude, do this, do this, do this, and if
Right.
they don't choose to do it, they don't choose to put in the work.
they'll
Well,
listen to the
yeah.
podcast and be like, "Oh wow, you know, you guys are so ahead." Like, I wish I could think like that. I'm like, you can go fucking do it. And then, but you think they're gonna do it? No.
Just
No.
take the first step,
Yeah.
which is oh my god, I can't talk. Jeez. But always the hardest step is that first one,
Mm-hmm.
by far.
Like
And
what
I know
people
that from
say-
experience.
Like what people say in business, it's harder to make your first million than your second.
Yeah. But going on the other end of the conversation, we're talking about like being real, and I can agree we are very, very real. But like I said, on the other end, there's like just those sensitive relationships and just sensitive culture growing up, and it's honestly annoying to see because they're grown and shaped with that victim mentality.
They can't
Like
handle the
I
truth.
can't think like that because that's not me. I have this mental issue. Like I physically can't. Like
Oh,
I
the
can't wake
mental
up
shit.
at 4:30 or 5 a.m. in the
Because
morning.
my
My body
mental
won't let me.
depression.
Yeah.
Shut
I-
the fuck up. You have depression because you sleep for 10 hours a day, you dumbass.
I need my
Exactly.
nicotine or else my anxiety is blah 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 blah.
That's a good one.
I'm a,
That's a good one.
or like
Yeah.
I need to smoke weed to calm myself down. I'm like, you really need that.
Do you? Right.
Yeah.
And they think what's even funny is they think they deserve everything, which they
Cancel
don't. No one
culture.
deserves shit. You
Yeah,
gotta
if-
work for it.
Honestly, if you're one of those people that think you deserve it, in most cases you probably don't.
Mm-mm.
Because like coming from my perspective, I don't expect shit from anybody, and I don't think I deserve anything more than what you guys do. So whatever come to me, I truly see it as a blessing, and
Exactly.
I know that's the right way to do it because it's been working for my life. So
The difference between us and like them is something good will happen to them. They'll be like, oh yes, that was all me. I did that, and like, oh lucky or whatever. But then something good happens to us. What do we immediately do?
Thank
We
God.
put our
Glory to
head down.
God.
We put our heads down, and we're like, thank you for
mhm,
thinking that we deserve this, even though I
Exactly.
don't believe I deserve this. You think I do, so it's worthy.
exactly.
Mhm.
That's
It's-
just yeah.
It sucks to see, honestly. What is your guys' opinion on like this upcoming
We're soft,
generation
man.
behind us? Like,
We're
so
soft.
soft.
We're
if you
soft
were
and
if
weak.
you were to have your mentality and go back into like our high school,
Dude,
what would you see? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Bro,
like
what do
to
you
myself or
mean,
like
bro?
to our peers.
Pierce.
What was happening in high school? Dude?
So high school, I was a sensitive bitch. Let's be real. I think all of us were.
Yeah.
I think all of
Yeah.
us were.
That's also.
I mean,
like,
but that's just
the
a high
kid in
school,
us.
the high school mentality.
Yeah.
The kid,
Yeah.
we weren't maturing. We weren't there yet. But oh man,
Like if you were to have your brain go back and
In
just
my high
look
school-
around at all the people and how they
I'd be
act.
valedictorian. Oh wait, what?
Valedictorian.
I fucking would, dude.
Really though.
Yeah, but
I probably wouldn't talk to many people. I mean,
Yeah,
I already
I'd just
didn't
be
like
so
so far.
skeptical about
but, like,
everything. Like,
I would keep to myself
I would
more.
have been the same.
I was already yeah.
I never talked to anyone.
yeah,
dude.
right.
I literally
That's
never
true.
talked to anyone. But yeah, I well, I mean, it depends. If we started back in freshman year, I probably would have came out the other end without any friends.
Yeah,
Just because I mean,
That's
if we
true.
think about it, you changed a bit, I would have cut you off, and then
yeah.
Juan wasn't really there yet. I would have cut him off, and then Philip, I probably would have never talked to him because, I just don't talk to people. So it's like, I'd come out right now, no friends, probably no girlfriend.
Damn,
Yeah.
straight like that.
Yeah.
Getting into NFTs.
I'd be
You know, there's
real-
really 17, 18-year-old kids still in high school making millions and billions off NFTs, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard.
It's really not. And it's I like the hustle because it's so different. Like kind of like flipping sneakers. Yeah, how that's a thing.
Yeah.
This is essentially the same thing. You're just in a virtual world and you're playing with pretty big dogs.
They don't realize that, huh?
Yeah, they don't. They
Yeah,
really
that
don't.
is one cool thing. So I'll give it 99% of this generation that we're a part of and that's coming up is pretty soft, and they were not gonna do shit, and they're gonna end up living regular lives and with their mental depression, whatever the fuck they want to call it, fuck that. Anyways, and then the other 1% are the us that are out there, 17-year-olds that are like, fuck it, this makes sense. I'm gonna do
Mhm.
it, and they're out here making millions of dollars, driving a Lamborghini to school. I mean,
Mhm.
personally, I wouldn't like be buying Lamborghinis, but like, I'm just like,
Just an analogy.
yeah,
I
just
get
an
it.
analogy, but yeah, it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, but
Some kids get
I
it.
think the biggest thing, especially for just kids growing up, is just how you're raised, what situations you're in, who's around you, who's really like mentoring you.
I don't know, man, because a lot there's kids that you feel like you meet their parents and you're like, damn, how did you end up like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Like some of them like will be too attached to that social media or too attached to their friends that it's just like they think completely different.
Yeah.
They just think way differently than what.
I guess I've kind of experienced differently because I will shout out my dad right now, but one thing that I'll always love and respect my dad for is he showed me and he really gave me that tough love and proved to me that life does not give a fuck what you do and no one cares about you.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, my dad was one of those people that did care about me and show me love,
Yeah.
but like overall, the world is cold. And
It
if
is.
you don't want to work, if you don't want to put in effort, you're gonna get no outcome out of it.
Mm-mm. It's
What
gonna
you
eat you up.
what you put in is what you're gonna get out. And I
Yeah.
really respect and love him for that
Oh,
because
yeah, 100%.
finding that out at a young age really makes you like
Opens
think
your
about
eyes.
things
Yeah.
differently, and it definitely opens your eyes.
See, I was lucky to kind of like see that just because I was like, since I was always so quiet and introverted, I was able to like observe a lot better. So
Right.
I was like, no one really cares about me. So that's why
Right.
I was just like, obviously other than like my family and that, but I was like, no one really cares, and no one's really gonna help me. It was like no one cares until I have something that they want,
Mhm.
So I was just like, I'm just gonna stay in my own lane. But it's later in life that I realized like, oh no, it's real. Like it's like the world does not care. Like it really doesn't,
Exactly.
truly doesn't. And yeah, it is better to see that at a young age than it is to realize that obviously later in life.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't realized that, realize it.
'Cause that clock is ticking.
Clock is ticking.